Welcome to Private 1977 channel. Subscribe to the channel. And don't miss the hottest news of the day. Our news today includes the following content. A moment that changed the entire terminal. 15 minutes before departure, the airport terminal felt like any other ordinary scene, families hugging, announcements echoing overhead, the familiar shuffle of luggage wheels on polished floors. But something shifted in an instant. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It began as a whisper. A few fans who had been lingering around, some waiting for friends, some simply passing time, noticed someone. They didn't scream, didn't rush, didn't make it obvious. Instead, their conversations tapered off, and their attention slowly gravitated toward a single point in the room. Phones were lifted halfway, not fully, as if they still doubted their own eyes. And then, in the span of seconds, what should have been a quiet, private farewell transformed into the center of the airport's energy. He stood there quietly, almost too calmly for someone in his position. No security detail. No team. No assistant guiding his steps. If someone had walked by without recognizing him, they would have thought he was just another traveler seeing off a loved one. But to those who did recognize him, his presence brought a tidal wave of questions. Why was he here? Why alone? Why now? They didn't have to wait long for the next surprise. The arrival that changed everything. The person he was waiting for appeared moments later. Her steps were brisk but not hurried. Her expression was unreadable, like someone carrying a mix of tiredness, determination, and something deeper that couldn't easily be named. When their eyes met, the entire world seemed to soften. Even the noise of suitcase wheels and airport chatter faded into the background. It wasn't a dramatic reunion. No running. No embrace. Just a pause, small, quiet, yet somehow heavy enough to shift the atmosphere around them. Their conversation wasn't long. The way they stood, slightly angled toward each other, created a bubble that no one else seemed able to enter. They exchanged soft words. A look that lingered 1 or 2 seconds longer than normal. Tiny gestures that, though simple, carried unspoken meanings. Fans nearby started to realize who they were. Whispers turned into soft exclamations. Recognition rippled through the crowd like a spark traveling along a wire. People raised their phones a little higher. Someone started recording. Then another. And another. Within moments, the footage began to spread online, half-uploaded clips already gaining traction before the plane even boarded. The internet bursts open. The internet did what it always does. It devoured, dissected, and distributed the moment at lightning speed. Speculations multiplied. Why was he there? What did their interaction mean? Why no announcement? Was it planned? Was it accidental? But none of those questions mattered to the two people standing in the middle of the terminal. Despite the brewing chaos around them, they remained in their own quiet world, a world where neither fame nor eyes nor cameras could intrude. For a moment, silence stretched between them. Not the kind that comes from awkwardness, but the kind that comes from having too much to say and no time to say it. Then the announcement sounded. Her flight was boarding. The moment couldn't last forever. He gave a small nod. Simple, almost unnoticeable. but full of meaning. She responded with the same softness. No hugs. No theatrics. Just a farewell stripped down to its purest form. The look that broke the internet. As she walked toward the departure gate, surrounded by strangers, a camera captured something small yet unforgettable. She turned back. Just once. Not long enough for the untrained eye to see, but enough for the world to feel. That look held emotion layered too thick for easy interpretation, fondness, hesitation, perhaps longing. And he stood exactly where she left him, watching her take each step farther away, staying rooted as if leaving would somehow dishonor the moment. He didn't follow. Didn't call out. He simply stayed. And that stillness was powerful. Within minutes, the clip ignited across online platforms. Millions watched. Millions commented. Millions tried to decode every second. Even the smallest gestures, his posture, the way her hand twitched as if she almost turned earlier, the tiny distance between them, became theories. Some were convinced this was more than friendship. Others argued it was nothing but mutual respect. But the truth? No one knew. And the mystery only made it more captivating. A moment too real to ignore. What made people replay the clip wasn't confirmation, it was the absence of it. The beauty of the moment was in how raw it felt. No staged lighting. No media scripts. No planned interactions. Just two people, caught in a genuine instant that wasn't intended for the world. Maybe that's why it hit so deeply. You could feel the sincerity. The gentleness. The unspoken emotions that lingered between their breaths. It reminded people that beneath fame, beneath schedules and spotlights, they were still human. Humans capable of showing up for someone else. Humans capable of caring quietly. Days passed. The noise began to fade. But the memory refused to die. People still kept the clip saved. Some watched it again whenever it appeared on their timeline. Others brought up older videos to connect dots, creating storylines out of fragments. Nothing was confirmed. Nothing was denied. And somehow, that made everything more intriguing. The silence that spoke loudest. In a world where people rush to explain everything, their silence was the most confusing part. Silence invites imagination. Silence holds possibility. Silence leaves room for people to feel rather than analyze. And through that silence, interpretations multiplied. Some saw romance. Some saw friendship. Some saw two people navigating a farewell too intimate to label. But regardless of what people believed, the emotional pull remained undeniable. Even through a phone screen, the moment felt alive. A memory that refuses to fade. Weeks went by. Trends shifted. Discussions changed. Yet the moment refused to disappear completely. It re-emerged occasionally, someone posting it again late at night, someone stumbling upon it unexpectedly. And each time it resurfaced, people found something new. A detail they hadn't noticed before. A gesture suddenly filled with fresh meaning. A feeling that resurfaced even stronger than the last time. Because that moment wasn't static. It evolved with every interpretation, every rewatch, every shift in perspective. It became something larger than itself. The beauty of the undefined. As time softened the initial frenzy, the emotional imprint remained. The clip became a reminder. Not everything needs a label. Not every bond needs definition. Not every goodbye needs drama. Sometimes the smallest gestures, showing up, waiting, turning back one last time, carry the greatest weight. The airport eventually returned to normal, its crowds continuing their endless flow of arrivals and departures. But for those who witnessed that moment, whether in person or on a screen, the terminal would always be the backdrop of a story that never fully revealed itself. A story built not on explanations, but emotions. A story that didn't need to be solved, only felt. And maybe that's why it endures. Sometimes, the most unforgettable moments aren't the loudest or the longest. They're the ones that leave behind just enough mystery to keep living in the quiet corners of memory. What do you think about this? This concludes our new section. Welcome to leave your thoughts in the comments area. Let's discuss it together. Welcome, don't forget to give me a like and follow. Thank for all.